What's going on, gamers? It's Lord Psycho OG here, and on today's video of Road to Apex Predator, I'm finally going to let you guys know that we made it to Apex Predator. And I'm going to share with you guys a couple of the things that I learned on my way to Apex Predator. If you haven't already, I recommend you guys check out the other 9 episodes in this Road to Apex Predator series. If you guys are currently grinding through any of those divisions, I got a game in each and every single division, and you can learn something from those videos if you guys want to check them out. So I encourage you to check those out. And if you like the video, please make sure to like it and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so I can take you along this journey of playing Apex Predator with me and learning along the way. So without that, I'm going to get into some of the things that I learned while grinding Apex Predator. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I would like to say that this has been my first ranked mode experience that I've really dived in and played, and I really enjoyed it. I really like the fact that they set it up where you can give RP and also lose RP by doing certain things. I like how you can't drop in different divisions. I like the competitiveness of it. I like it all around, and so I wanted to give Respawn a good shout out for that, because I really enjoy the ranked mode. So that is my first takeaway from ranked. Okay, now next is if you haven't already, I would definitely get a squad together if you're at platinum or higher. Now, if you're grinding from bronze to gold, I think that you guys can solo queue if you do not have a team. That's totally fine. I played a lot of solo games myself in those divisions, but once I hit platinum, I was running with a specific squad the whole time, because it just makes it so much easier if I have my own squad with me. That way we can communicate, we can strategize, we can respawn, res each other when we need to. It just makes the game that much easier when you have a team with you, because also when you're solo queuing, you're going to be going against enemies, you're going to be going against teams that are together in a party communicating. It's going to be much harder on you guys. So I definitely recommend you guys get a team. As soon as you hit platinum 4, start looking for somebody to help you guys out. It's going to make it that much easier for you. Now, there is a certain amount of characters that I was rotating through with my squad that I wanted to share with you guys that got me to Apex Predator, and it might help you guys out as well. Those 4 characters are Caustic, Wattson, Pathfinder, and Wraith. The 3 that always stayed in our squad were Wraith and Wattson. Those are the 4 characters that we are rotating the whole time when grinding Apex to Apex Predator through rank mode. They did really well for us and our playstyle. Now, I realize that this may not work for your playstyle, but for the people who like to rotate early, stay inside the circle, hold down zones, those 4 characters are really going to help you guys excel, get those placement points, and also get kills in the end game as well. And so I definitely recommend you guys give those 4 characters a try in your squad, and I'm going to break down why each of those characters should be in your squad. So first and foremost is going to be the Wattson. Now, Wattson is incredible for holding down buildings and getting into those houses during late game rotations. She's going to be the reason your team is able to survive in the house. Say if somebody were to push you guys, she has her fences set up. You're going to have that set up as an extreme deterrent first and foremost, right? If you're running past a house that has Wattson fences and you see those Wattson fences through the windows, first and foremost, it's going to let you know that there's a team in there. Secondly, it's going to be a deterrent for you if you're trying to push up on that house because you know that somebody is in there. And number 3, it's going to be hard to get inside that building and fight because you have those fences that you're going to be getting dinged by as you're moving throughout the house. And so having Wattson in those late game rotations, giving yourself that option to defense, to bunker down, to get all your heals back up is super important, especially with the way that ranked is played. Ranked is not a rushing everybody game. It's not that type of mode where you can really excel like that. You're just going to get killed by a team because everybody has good gunshots. They have laser beams, and so they're going to be able to kill you if you're pushing. So you have to play strategically, which is why Wattson is a perfect character to have on your squad. Next is going to be Wraith. Now, Wraith is going to be key when it comes to moving your team into the circle when the team is, for example, stuck holding down the position that they are at. Her portal is absolutely important for you guys, almost like it's so necessary. There's so many countless times where we've been stuck in a certain position and we've had Wraith portal us to the next circle, and it's just gotten us set up. It's been way easier. We didn't have to use any resources. It was just a must-have. So Wraith is super important as well because her passive is going to let you know when somebody's aiming at you guys. So when you're rotating through one circle to another, you'll be able to know, okay, somebody's got eyes on us. We're going to have to make a certain type of play, or be more ready for a gunfight, because Wraith passive is going off right now and she's letting us know that she's getting aimed at. And then also Her voids are really good. You can send her to go get care packages, try to go get items for you, because she'll be able to just void out without taking any damage, whereas somebody who's less mobile may take more damage trying to get those items for your team. Pathfinder is one of those characters that's been a staple in terms of the top 5 best legends in Apex Legends, and he is still in that role. It's still top 3 in my opinion. The high ground, the zip line, super crucial. Getting high ground in those late games is going to win you those games when you're not having to be on the ground fighting everyone. You can kind of third party those last fights with that high ground. His ability to scan survey beacons so that way you know when the next circle is coming is super big, especially if you're playing with Wattson or with Wraith, because you're going to be able to see, alright, I know that that circle is going to be in this part of the map, and it's going to drop down even closer in this edge of the map. Say water treatment, we should rotate to water treatment, hold that down, set up our fences. Having that communication in your team and your squad, and knowing that Pathfinder can scan those beacons, let you know where that information is going to be at, is super important for your team. Now, say you don't like running Pathfinder, you don't like running Wattson, whatever, I would say Caustic is the next best character for you guys. His ultimate in endgame circles is so OP. It is so crazy. You go down that ultimate in that small ass circle, anybody who's trying to get into a gunfight is going to get really damaged by that Caustic. Oh, and it's just such a nice thing to have in that endgame circle. As well, if you're playing Wattson and say you're substituting him for Pathfinder, holding down houses is basically impossible for a team to get into that house when you have that Wattson Caustic setup. Say somebody does destroy your Wattson fences, you have that Caustic gas to be set off and deter that team from getting in and pushing in even more, because they know that once they push through that Caustic gas, the only thing that they have next is to get shot by a team that's waiting for them to come through. So definitely recommend you guys try out those 4 different legends when you're trying to grind for Apex Predator, and see how rotating those legends works for you guys. See if it gets you points, see if it gets you RP. I hope it does, because that's what worked for my squad. Now, it's not all going to be about placement points. You're going to need to get kills. Kills are going to be those cushion points that really can escalate how much or how fast you are ranking through these divisions. Now, yes, placement points does get you more points if you were to win the game, but having those 5 kills, those 3 kills on top of those placement points is super huge for your progression. And also too, say if you don't get that high placement points, but you're able to get those early kills off the drop, it's going to help mitigate how much points that you're losing, and also give you some cushion. Say if you didn't place this high, but you're still going to gain that RP. All that RP matters, and you want to make sure that you're getting those kills. So try not to only play for placement is basically what I'm saying. You're going to need to get kills if you want to hit Apex Predator. And also too, the Q times once you get up to Diamond are, I think, -4 off the rip. That's the ante up to get into the game, and so you're gonna need to get some kills, because you're not always gonna get top 3. You're not always gonna win the game in ranked. There's good players in this mode, and so you're gonna need to get those kills to make sure that you're keeping that progression going. Now, jumping out of the dropship is something that is super overlooked when it comes to doing well in ranked mode. Setting up yourself in the early game can be huge for you in terms of winning the game at the end, because say you're able to drop in a place that is uncontested, your team is able to get guns, get armor, get some resources. They're going to be more comfortable rotating into a spot that may have some places or some people in there, because they have that setup already there. They're already prepared for that fight. So it's going to help you guys loot up, be more confident in going to those next rotations, which will get you that like final loot for those end circles, right? Which is then where you can start rotating in. So definitely stop predetermining where you're going to drop from the rip, and start seeing where people are going, and from there decide, okay, all these places are taken, let's try to go to this high tier loot spot, this massive loot spot that is uncontested, so that way my team can set up, can loot up, and make that rotation with as much possible possibility of defending themselves and being okay. So definitely start doing that. Stop predetermining your drops and start looking at where other people are going and saying, all right, let's go here. And then last but not least is sometimes you're going to have to play for those placement points. Not all the time. This isn't something that you're always going to have to do, but there's going to be times where your squad's going to go down. You're not going to be able to get those banners because that other squad is defending those bags. Play for placement. Every single RP point counts. I remember I would never check out when I was grinding for Apex Predator if my team was down. I would literally always try to sweat it out and try to get to that top 3, even win the game. In my head, I'm trying to win the game, I'm trying to get those RP points, not only for myself but for my squad as well. And so make sure that you're not just zoning out as soon as you lose your team, as soon as your team goes down, counting yourself out. Be even smarter with your rotations, be even smarter with your engagements, right? Make sure that you're staying even more focused up if you can't, if you don't have your whole squad in the game, because you want to try to push for those RP points, right? Any progression is good progression. So definitely I would say you always sweat it out for those placement points if you can. And those are the things that I learned when grinding for Apex Predator. You know, I hope that you guys can take some of the things that I've said in here and apply them in a situational manner to your gameplay, and hopefully reach Apex Predator like most of you grinding ranked are hoping to do. If you guys like this video, if you guys learned anything from this video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so I can give you some more value-driven content in the future that'll make you a better Apex Legends player. Please drop a comment below on what division you guys are at in ranked right now. I want to see how everyone's progressing, and check out those other videos. That's all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Lotaka OG is out.
Apex Champions.